Hello everybody and welcome to the fifth tutorial in a series of MySQL DBA video tutorials. In this tutorial we will learn about an important configuration parameter called max connections, and we will also look at a couple of other variables. Now you might have heard about system variables or MySQL global variables. What are they? So actually, in our previous video tutorial we learned about the configuration file, which is the my.cnf file, and we were able to change some of the parameters or configuration inside that file, and then restarting the MySQL, it was taking in effect. So global variables are the variables which are the default values set for different behaviors. So for example, if you want to know how many maximum connections your MySQL server can handle at any point of time, then you can use this query called select @max underscore connections. So that will tell you right now the MySQL server I am using has a capacity of handling 151 simultaneous connections. So what happens if your server reaches to that limit? Now as soon as your server reaches that limit, the servers the consecutive connections, the connections which are coming afterwards will face timeouts, and you will able to see some sort of error called too many connections, because many times some people just forget to change these important values, and the servers in production starts experiencing more and more traffic coming towards, and they can hit their limit. We can increase the value for max connections without restarting the MySQL server, but we need to make sure that we change or add the particular parameter in my.cnf file, so that when we restart the MySQL server again, it will take the new value in effect. To change the value on the fly without restarting the MySQL server, you can use this syntax: set global max underscore connections equal to, say for example, we want it to set to 500, and now if you check, it is set to 500. If I restart my MySQL server now, the value will fall back to 151, because that's the default value, and I haven't configured it anywhere in my MySQL server configuration to set it to 500. So let's do that now. After changing it to the live instance of your MySQL server, you can now edit the default configuration file, and then you have to add that particular parameter or option inside the MySQLD section, because this parameter is associated with the server, not with the client, so that it won't go in the client section, it will go into the MySQLD section. Just put it here: max underscore connections equals to 500, escape, save, and now if you restart MySQL, I'm just telling you that if you do that, it will consider the new value and set to 500, not to 151. So this is one important thing. Everybody must consider this value setting up from right beginning, so that they don't have to face any issues later on. Also, like this system variable max connections, there are lots of other system variables as well, and not all of them are quite important for every single server when you set it up. Some of them are also related to the storage engines, InnoDB or MyISM. We will look at those storage engines in detail in the coming video tutorials. But for example, if you want to see all of your system variables from your prompt, then from the MySQL prompt, then you can say show variables, a simple command which will just show all of those variables which are right now set on your system. Say for example, if you want to filter a specific type of variables, like variables associated with log file, so you can say show variables like, and then you can put percentage to just identify any characters before and any character after. So then it will bring all those variables where somewhere it has a log word in it, either in the beginning or in between somewhere. And if you check them, it just say that this is the variable name and this is the current value. For example, the general log is off, but the file is set because I did enable it earlier. You will be able to see the error log file as well, binary log files. So like like I said, these are the important variables, and you can change their values on the fly whenever you want from the command prompt, MySQL command prompt. And in many cases, this slow query logs are very important to debug and diagnose issues with the long running queries. And what are those queries? To identify them, you can enable this as well. You can also check the other variable called so other variable like versions. If you put a version word, it will tell you various versions of the storage engine or your version of your MySQL server. You can also use another variable max connections or max temp tables, how many maximum temp tables are allowed to be created during the MySQL server is in operation. So like I said, there are lots of such system variables, and we can't go through them, each of them in this tutorial, but you can spot that the max connections which we changed, it's again coming up here. It's a specific query which will bring all the variable names, starts with max, or somewhere it has max word in it. If you just want to list the variables which are starting with word max and follow with any other character of strings, then you can use this query starting with max. You don't need to put percentage in the beginning, which says fix characters max starts with, and percentage is a wildcard character here. So this way you can list all the variables. You can also check the variables if there are any starting with error. So this error count, or if you want to check more, so max connection errors whatsoever. So hope you get some more information about this, and see you in the following tutorials with more and more information. Bye for now.